Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
Hey, so we wanted to make a quick video for you guys talking to you about, and I'm not sure how quick it'll be, but talking to you about our goals for the new year, some books that we want to make sure are on our TBR for January, and some books that we know that are coming out within the new year, at least some point in time, that we are really excited for. So go grab your favorite cup of tea or coffee and sit down with us and let's discuss some stuff for the new year. So this past year I read, so in 2022, I read 450 books. Mandy, how many did you read?
I read 387 books.
Which is awesome. I mean, that is a lot between the two of us.
Yes.
So what are some of your goals for the new year?
Okay. So last year I did read the 387 books, but I did not start until almost the end of January. But my goal is still going to be 387 books for this year. I know that there's some things that are going to be happening in my life that will probably prevent me from going beyond that. So I want to set definitely a realistic goal. So 387 books. That's my goal.
Okay.
How about you?
So I read the 450. I set my goal on Goodreads. Now this is how I make sure that I succeed. I set my goal in Goodreads for 365, just because I figure even if I only read a book a day, technically for a year, I am like still above and beyond where I want to be. My actual goal is to beat what I did this year, to beat the 450, but you just don't know what's going to come up within the year. So I didn't want to set an unrealistic goal. This might have just been because I had surgeries and had downtime where my business just keeps getting busier and busier. So I'm not sure that I can fit in all those books. So I set it at 365, but up here it's set for 451. So we'll see if I can make that happen. But you know, yeah.
I think you should put it on your Goodreads like that and go for it.
That makes me nervous because I am such a carrot chaser and I'm always chasing after those goals that I like to break them down and have them smaller. So I know if I can get to that 365, which I will, but I know when I get to that, then I'm like, okay, so that goal is met. That little goal is met. Now let's go for the big one. And I think that's how anybody should set your goals, even your reading goals. Like if you know you want to read 365 books a year, if that is too much for you, if like looking at that number on Goodreads freaks you out, set your goal for 30. Like there's 30 days in a month, just give or take. And then once you hit that 30, then up it to 60 and like continue to up it until you get to that goal. It's like baby steps. You got to break it down. So
that is exactly what I did last year because I was just getting back into reading and I hadn't really read more than just a few books a year for years and years. And so I was like, I'm just going to read a book a month. And then all of a sudden I had read like 10 books and I'm like, okay, so like 2 a month. And then I slowly, and I'm like, I'm going to do 100 for the year. And then I think when I was like almost at 100 really quickly, I was like, okay, I'm going to do 365. So I kind of kept changing mine for a little while, just trying to figure out what was going to work for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I am really looking forward to some of my reading goals that I have, besides the number of goals of certain book series and things that I want to read. So one right off the bat that I want to read, there's 24 books I went and counted, is Cora Reilly's Mafia World. I read 1 last year. I've already read 2 this year. And
you're welcome.
Yes, thank you. I want to read all of them. I'm pretty sure I will need, I don't think I'm just going to sit and read them all in one right after another. I think I'll probably take some short breaks, but this is a series I don't want to forget about and stray away from too long. There's actually several of her books. So her books say that they can be read as standalones, but that you get the better experience if you read straight through. And then there's actual standalones. So I have several marked on my TBR. So I'm very excited to read through that series this year. And that is my goal, is to get them all done.
Which is a great goal. I mean, because you do need to take breaks, and we talked about this, because otherwise it's too much. Now, I read them all, what was available at the time, because this was like 3 years ago where I started reading her, but I read what was available at that time. And then since then I've read them as they've come out, where it's right there. And it's a lot. I'm just so excited when you get to the Kimura Chronicles, because those are my favorite. Those are my absolute favorite.
I'm going to read in her suggested reading order. So you read, what is it? Bound by Honor. Is that the series? You read
Bound by Blood, Born in Blood.
Born in Blood. Thank you. Bound by Honor was the first book. So you read like to a certain point, then you skip down to the Kimura Chronicles, then you go back, and then there's some standalones that can be like weaved in there. So I'm going to follow her exact, like she has it on her webpage. I'm going to follow her exact reading order for that. A couple authors that I really just want to go back to and read more: Penelope Douglas, and Kalia Reed's. I know you're going to talk about it, but she is on my list to go back. I want to finish A Court of Thorn and Roses, which I know we've talked about already on here. So we'll probably, I think it's good to point out that people need to come back and check our Monday bestie book tease, where we talk about what we read the week before, because everything you're going to hear about in this video, you will be hearing a deep dive, or deeper dive, I should say, into when you come back and listen to what we've been reading through the week. Yeah. I want to go back and finish the Helena Hunting series, the Pucked series. I only have 3 books left in it, so I want to go back. I think it was one of those things where I just took a break. It was a fantastic series, hilarious, but I just needed a little break. I actually read several of her books where it's the kids of those characters, so I just need to go back and finish those 3. And then what else? Those are the series that I'm looking forward to reading. I have a couple books that I really want to read that I'm going to try and read in January. The Girl in the Front Row by Kelsey Kingsley. That's going to be a new to me author. It's about a girl who has a vision impairment. She's in the front row at a rock concert, and she gets picked out somehow by the main rocker. And she's, I believe, based on the little tiny synopsis, it's like their romance, but she feels like he's not going to want anything to do with her because she is not, like model perfect, like you see rock stars with type thing. And what he's looking for is not that life anymore, it kind of sounds like. So he's looking for, like, I'm going to do it in quotes, a normal person where she feels that she's anything but normal. So I'm really looking forward to that one. The other book I really want to read this month, or I guess this year, but I'm going to read it this month, is How the Heart Breaks by Stacey Marie Brown. It's another new to me author. Have you heard of this one?
Stacey Marie Brown, we met in Seattle this last year.
What?
Yes, remember that I was reading the what's it called? It's really popular right now. The Fae, that story, the Fae story that I was reading.
Really?
Son of a booger. Hold on, I'll look it up for you. And remember that she was the one that I said something about, I called it a certain thing, and she was like, no, that's not what it is. Do you remember?
Yeah, but I didn't realize that was her. Okay.
Yep, that is her.
Her book is about Emery. Emery's husband dies, and for 3 years she's kind of in mourning. Now she's 30. She's trying to move on with her life, but her deceased husband's family is really making that difficult for her. Her 17-year-old niece comes to live with her, and her 17-year-old niece has a crush on this 19-year-old guy named Mason, who starts spending time at their house and really is more mature and connects with the aunt. And usually I like age gap the other way, but I'm very curious about this. And then this last line is kind of what sunk me into like wanting to read it. It's what fate has in store for them shows how the heart breaks. So I'm real, like, it sounds angsty, and sometimes I just love a really angsty book. So That's another book I'm looking forward to.
And the one that I was talking about that I was reading at the time was the Savage Land series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and I didn't realize that was the same author.
Sweet. What?
I didn't realize that was the same author.
It is the same author, and she was very sweet. She was very kind. I think I called it post-apocalyptic, and she was like, "No, it's not." I'm like,
oh, yes. Okay, I can visualize her and everything now with that.
Yeah,
okay.
She's a sweetheart, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Okay, then I have Tillie Cole's Hades Hangman. I've read books 1 through 5, and I have 5 left, which includes a few novellas. I purposely took a break from that series, and now I'm ready to go back and finish it. And the last thing on my list besides new releases is, I think you've read it, Tears of Tess.
Oh yeah, I own it. The Mystic Box had it as a special edition. And so I have like the special edition, the whole series.
So that's by Pepper Winters. It's part of the Monsters in the Dark series. It's straight up human trafficking. So it is going to be a very dark read. I'm a mood reader, so it'll definitely have to be when I am more in the mood for that. But it's one that's intrigued me, so that's on my list. So those are my series and books that I really want to finish this year and I definitely want to get read. I do have some new releases I'm excited about, and I'll talk about those next. So Jessica, what are you wanting to read?
So this year, I definitely want to read, I got this book a few months back when it was first released. It's a Kay Webster book. It's The Teacher of Nothing. So it is a teacher student.
That's on my TBR.
Yeah, so this is mine from Kay. Is this signed? It is signed. I normally have her sign it with my name, but I didn't with this one because sometimes I like to just send them to Mandy when I'm done with them. But so I need to read that. I've had that on my TBR forever, so I want to read that.
We should read that one together too.
Yes, let's do that. That would be awesome. Okay. I really need to, and I said I was going to do this on the last day of the year, and I ended up reading something else. I did end up ending with A. Ruby Dixon, which is what I like to do, but it was a novella because I really need to fit that one in there to make sure I hit that 450. Because I could not end the year on 449. I'm sorry, I just couldn't. So I read a novella, but I really need to read the very last book that has just came out in the Ice Home series, and that's Flor's Fiasco. I've had it. I just haven't sat down and read it yet. Work is going to be very busy this month until the 24th when the friend that I work with is gone. And then I'm going to have a week off. So it'll be great. But until then, it's going to be very busy. So it's going to be a lot of audiobooks for me this month. But that's one that I really want to finish because there's more coming. So that's why. I started Haunting Adeline a couple of days ago over the Christmas break, and I got sidetracked with a different book at the time. And so I literally on the second chapter, I really want to do Haunting Adeline. I know that it was a huge thing for people. It's by H.D. Carlton, I believe. But I know it was a huge book for people this last year. Again, as I've said, one of my toxic book traits is that I don't want to read anything when it's extremely popular. It skews my vision of the book. And so I've put it off. I'm ready to read it now. Haunting Adeline they call it the cat and mouse duet. There's 2 books, and it is a stalker. I'm going to keep her type situation. And if you've watched any of our videos, you know that is right up my alley. And it's supposedly pretty creepy. So I am really excited about that one. So I do need to finish that. So I also really want to start reading The Force of Nature. It is, right now it's a novella and then 2 books. I think there's a 3rd one coming though. I'll know when I actually get in there and read it. But it's by Skye Warren and Amelia Wilde. And it looks like, and from what I can tell, it is almost like a Tarzan retelling, but there's an extra person in there. There's a plane crash, and you've got I think it's a menage. I think there's like a wild man that's been living there on the island, and it's a guy and a girl that crash, and I'm here for it. So that is at the top of my list to read right now. And Definitely I need to. So you were talking about Cora Reilly. I absolutely love Cora Reilly, but I have not read her newest series, which is The Sins of the Father. I was kind of waiting for a few more to come out so that I could like binge them. And so I think there's been 3 or 4 there's 4 that are out. I have them all on my Kindle. They're all actually downloaded on my Kindle. I just need to read them. So those are at the top of my list. And then I have been a very bad girl. And Pam Godwin released a book this last year, which was Lessons in Sin. And everybody and their mother has read that, or at least it was something that everybody talked about. Like they read it the day it came out. It is a priest/teacher student type situation. And again, it was so popular. I just couldn't. I've just had it there. I need to. I'm going to listen to it this month. I have it both on my Kindle and in audio, and I'm going to listen to it. I also want to finish the series by Serean Akeroyd, her MC romance. She's putting it out on audio right now, so I'm waiting for all of those, but there's been a couple that have come out, so I'm looking forward to finishing that this year as well. And then Between Wrath and Mercy, the audio is coming out later this month. So it comes out the day after my birthday. So I'm really looking forward to reading that.
Oh, sweet.
So, yeah. Okay. So what do you have for new releases that you're anticipating this year?
Okay. I just have a few.
Mm-hmm.
Lucia Franco, What's Left of Us, is Avery and Xavier's story. They're side characters that play quite a big role. I really don't want to say anything. You really need to read the Off Balance series. You see them a lot, and it's going to be their story. We know little tiny bits and pieces, but part of their story, it unravels as you're reading the series. So I don't want to give anything away. It comes out February 7th. I am so excited about it. I can't wait to read it. Then my other one is T.L. Swan has a new series coming out that will be out. The first book for that is going to be out in August. I love T.L. Swan. I need to go and read a bunch of her books. There's so many I haven't read yet, but I'm very excited for her new series. I know you're going to talk about one of the other series that's coming out that I'm very excited about. And then I'm just going to do a direct look into the camera and be Carrie Ann Cole. I am really excited for her new release. So yes. Oh, what would that be? I don't know, Carrie Ann Cole. Come on, write some more for me, please. It looks like Don't Kiss the Bride, which has now been out for 2 years, is the last book that she published. So I am in her Facebook group page, and I am showing great restraint in not questioning her. I just love her books so much. I actually have like 3 left that I have not read, and I just don't want to read them because I don't want to have read everything that she has out. And I can't find anything coming soon. So fingers crossed that she has some books. Like, I hope she's just been hoarding them and she's going to release a bunch this year.
Well, she had been talking about it's a continuation of Blue's book of No Tomorrow. It's
yes, but she has no information for release dates on anything.
So you know what? Authors sometimes have lives.
What?
And things happen.
No.
Shocker, isn't it?
Carrie Ann Cole's sole purpose in life is to write. She is like one of the best authors.
Yeah, she's great. Is there anything else?
Those are my main ones.
Those are your main ones. Okay, so what I'm looking forward to is Kay Webster has another book coming out. It's slated to come out in February. I think towards the end of February. I am on her ARC team, so I will actually get it beginning of February. We don't have a date yet. It is another forbidden taboo romance. And from what I can tell, from what I've seen in our teasers that we're getting, being a part of her group, it's called The Tangle of Awful. The actual cover will be revealed on January 9th. And I've seen it, but I can't show it. But it'll be revealed on January 9th. And from what I can tell, it looks like it's an uncle situation. So, and we know if anybody has read Kay Webster, especially the Wilde, you know she can do taboo. And like when we're talking taboo, we are talking taboo. I love Kay Webster. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I believe in February, Ruby Dixon has the next spinoff from the Ice Planet Barbarians coming out. It's Argyle's book. I am dying to read it. Mandy is over there like, where did we go wrong with her? But
you have to be like, no, no, she's wonderful, but you have to be like her number one fan.
Oh, I know. No, there's worse. There's worse. There's a lot of them out there. But she is a great writer. I love her stuff. It's fun, and I think that's why. So then Callie Reed has the red herring. She's been teasing it. It is the second half of the books for Natalie, Natalie's story in the Belgrave Dynasty. It is we've been waiting for a year for the second half. I'm so excited for it. I think I haven't seen a release date yet, but it's supposed to be this first part of the year. Have you seen one?
It just says coming winter.
Yeah. So I thought it was sometime in January. I know it's at the editors right now. I know the book has been given
on her Facebook page. She's been posting a lot about it, but no release date yet. This is the one that I was saying that I'm also really excited about. As soon as I want to read it all together, so I need that book to come out.
Yeah. And the last one that I'm really excited for, and I don't know when we're gonna get it, I will be here on the day when I get it. Zoe Draven has told us when she finished the Horde Kings of Jakar, which are up here, when that was finished, we were told we were getting a spinoff. And that is supposed to be releasing at some point in time this year. And I don't know when, I haven't double checked, but she's a kind of author that like, when she would drop these books, she would literally like drop them and nobody would know that they were coming out. And we'd be like,
oh, she's like pulling a Beyonce.
She was pulling, yeah, like nobody would know. And then all of a sudden, wait, there's another book. So that, yes. Oh, and then there is another one. Sorry, that wasn't the last one. The last one. Dee Dee Prince has a series, which I have the series right here. It's her Savage Alpha Shifter series. So there's 2 books right now. The third one it's supposed to come out. It was supposed to be out. I thought it was supposed to be out late fall. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it still isn't out. We're expecting it at the beginning of this year. Dee Dee, please put it out. But I mean, like the second one was like, I mean, these are big. These are very good sized books. But I plan on talking to my boss and taking the day off when that comes out, which should be a very interesting conversation considering I'm my own boss. But I will take a day off to read that book once it gets here. So that is all that I have. That is what we're looking forward to. That is what we have on our TBR. What release are you guys looking forward to here in the new year? What do you know that's coming out that you like just are planning to take the day off to read the book? You just can't wait. Let us know in the comments below.
So to summarize, we're going to read a lot of books in 2023. We're going to be back here Mondays and Thursdays telling you about all the books that we read. Last year, Jessica and I read over 800 books combined. So you're going to get a lot of information from us on books. So make sure you check back on Mondays and Thursdays, and Carrie Ann Cole write some more books.
In the meantime, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. We're just getting started and we would love to see you guys here every time we post. And until the next time, we'll see you later.
Go read.
Go read.